Hello everyone, this is Ether Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Heroes. So just finished my last offense match for the week, perfect season. I gotta say, feels bad, man. We're gonna go into the replays here that we have so far. We do not have full protection from our lift, but it doesn't matter. The only thing that would change is our rank, which I'm not particularly concerned about, so we are fine at this point. So let's just get started with the replays and just talk about the season. Perfect offense season, but definitely not without its hiccups. Unfortunately, there was a match. It was like 3 a.m. when I was doing it. If you haven't figured it out already, I guess I'll talk about it. Because for some reason, arbitrarily, I get some of my videos gets more views than normal. I'm guessing it's just the YouTube algorithm. But yeah, the challenge I have, it might not sound like much of a challenge, but it is with my strategy. So the whole challenge is I use one team, there's no escape ladder, use the random matchmaker, and well, good luck. So definitely pretty yikes in that respect. My team, my main core is Peony and Air. I have a plus 10 Air, so that allows me to score pretty decently. And I run Nino and Kaden as my main carry, and Kaden for support. So definitely a strategy that gets countered pretty hard against stuff like a good Celev, good infantry pulse team, because I don't have pulse smoke, so I can't run that to deny specials or whatnot. And of course there's hardy bearing everywhere, so a vantage strategy in general is a little iffy. But lucky for me, Legendary Julia was bonus this week, and she definitely carried pretty hard this week. Helped me annihilate a lot of reds, especially since it was Sotha's bonus. Nino definitely could not handle her as usual, and not having the extra 5 HP in res against Sothis definitely hurts. The res might sound a little weird, but things get a little wacky, I gotta say, when you fool around with things. Sometimes you can get into some janky scenarios where you have more defense than res. Don't question it, even though it doesn't happen very often, but in general, I tend to have more res because it's light season, but there's some weird stuff that happens on occasion. But anyways, so there was this one offense match. It was like 3 in the morning, and it was an infantry pulse team variant. I definitely liked it for sure. What can I say about it? So there was a male Korin with, I believe it was repel, distant counter, repel, and like steady posture seal or something. And he had a pretty decent amount of speed, because I think there was a Yoon there on the team. There was, who else was there? So there was Legendary Azura. She was weaponless. I feel like it would almost be better if I tried to like sort of recreate the defense setup. I might do that after showing all the replays, but I'll just try to explain what generally was going on. So there was a guidance weaponless Legendary Azura with gray waves, of course. And so there was I think there were 3 low attack defense units. Could be wrong on that. But there was a Flora, the base form, the red infantry dagger, and Felicia. Both of them had, I believe, turn 1 Glacies. If not, it was Iceberg, but not particularly important. And sturdy impact, I believe. So pretty, and hardy bearing on Flora, of course, helps deal with some brave Ikes. And Who was the main pivot unit? There was Yoon, and then there was someone else. I forget, actually. Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head right now. That's kind of awkward. But they also had low attack defense, and they were definitely spoopy. Oh, it was a Jacob with Jacob's trait. That's why. Definitely I think he had low speed defense. Yeah, it was low speed defense. So, and they all had specials up turn 1 except for Male Corn, I believe, in Legendary Zera. So pretty threatening matchup, but I basically exploited their defense setup, and so I was able to pull out a perfect win on that match. It was pretty dicey because I definitely needed to use my remaining turns after taking out most of the folks to pick up the ether structures. So this person, turn 1, pretty standard Gale Force stuff. I don't really see much wrong here. Pretty solid Gale Force setup. A little blue heavy, but I mean, I'm guessing they probably could have more than just one variant of that. And besides, in general, blue's a pretty decent color for Gale Force offense during light season, to a degree. There's some issues with it, but there's stuff like Sothis, definitely a strong pivot, or a unit you can pivot Gale Force off of for sure. And with stuff like Times Pulse and Raft Series or whatever people run on their Sothis, you can get damaged enough to not get murdered, but enough to proc Wings of Mercy pretty consistently, I would say. Unless you're way too tanky, but I don't think you would really be too worried about that, to be honest, if you have a consistent enough Gale Force set. So yeah, it was definitely a pretty cool match. Definitely shows that matches that seem very difficult at first definitely can be broken down, and it's some matches I do admit my team can't beat. There's just no way around it. But it's still fine in those cases, because again, I'm only using one team. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I only use one team for offense, so it's all or nothing every match. And I find that pretty fun to a degree, because it definitely makes it a lot more challenging and punishing for when you play poorly or whatnot. But of course, that would probably be too brutal for folks playing casuals playing ether raids or whatnot, so I can definitely understand why that's not a thing. But yeah, pretty solid defense team, I would say. I definitely just exploited their structure. I don't think I can remember every single structure placement, but I do remember where the units were chilling. I'm actually trying to think if there was a unit. I'm pretty sure there was one. There might have not been one, though. I'm definitely forgetting somebody. So real call, there was Male Corn, there was Jacob, Felicia, Flora, Legendary Zero. I think it was Yoon. I think. Definitely could be wrong on that. I might see him again, though. I never know. That definitely happens on occasion. But I think in general, my offense strat is good enough to where against the average team, if you play well enough, you have a chance of winning Deathless. It definitely has a pretty solid win percentage if you allow one death, but of course in ether raids you try to avoid that, which is the whole point. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure about that. Here, well, they're just gonna get panicked here, but not too big of a deal, of course. So yeah, unfortunately didn't record it. 3 a.m. too brain dead to remember to record. Feels bad, man. But that's how it is sometimes. Unfortunately, That's what happens when... That's also part of the offense challenge, by the way. I never do it while I have a functional brain. I have to do it while I'm brain dead. It just makes it more interesting, again, because to a degree, if you're prepared enough, the average match should be cakewalk for you, especially if you have 5 teams. Like, doing it with 1 team, albeit the team is relatively strong, but of course lulls and fire sweep, hardy bearing, all that good stuff, lunge, gale force, or special fighter, or just Elwood, Seliph, stuff like that can definitely really hurt my strategy. Since my main carry is green, my support unit is green, my support units don't have very strong defense, so at the end of the day, it's just a recipe for failure against the classic infantry pulse teams, which, I mean, is fine by me. It's kind of fun seeing if it's possible for me to beat some of those teams, and I have in the past, so it's not entirely impossible. But Legendary Julia bonus, super hard carrying me for sure. She one-shot and 1 round KO'd so much stuff for me, you have no idea. Like I think the Felicia had like 50 speed or whatever. And, well, she didn't double her, but I could have doubled her if I really tried hard enough. I actually could have, but then that would involve dropping units afterwards, so obviously we're not going to do that. Actually, maybe the unit was Sothis. I have no idea. I cannot remember. It might have been Sothis. Honestly, I think it might have been Sothis. It probably wasn't Yoon. Because I think the problem was I couldn't one-shot Sothis in vantage range. So I was just gonna die to Sirius. I think that's it. It probably wasn't Yoon then. Pretty sure of it then. But yeah, very, very interesting matchup for sure. Again, kind of the Yoon thing. Or not the Yoon thing. The offense thing. Definitely interesting for sure. Wow. Sylvia actually doing quite a bit of damage. Of course, Annette got panicked, but I'm guessing Hardy bearing. Wait, what? I'm actually confused. Well, they panic play themselves here. Does that matter? Oh, I just Sothis taking out Brave Lucina. Yeah, that definitely happens. Brave Ike, of course, gonna live that. Pretty straightforward. Yeah, I guess they dropped the unit there. They definitely did not need to. So, I'm guessing they're fishing for a perfect match. They might need one, so best of luck to that person. But, yeah, let me see if I can make the defense setup roughly, if I can remember it. Well, my memory is definitely failing me right now, probably because I'm completely brain dead, so I don't remember where all the trap placements were. I think they were mostly on this side, and I'm also not sure on which map it was. 10 out of 10. It's either this map or Spring Breeze. It's probably this... Wait, what map is this? Yeah, this is Bandit. I think it might be this map. I can't remember off the top of my head, but so there was guidance on Legendary Azura, and Flora had a rally up, I believe. I can't remember, it's either Sothis or Yoon here. If only I remembered stat lines. Could probably figure out if I tried hard enough, but I'm not gonna worry about it too much. So the idea is if someone were to bait or whatever, Flora could rally, get danced by Legendary Azura, and have a pretty large range. So baiting here, Flora can reach. Baiting here, Flora can reach. Kind of just basically anywhere. And I think the traps on this side, you could definitely probably approach from the right side with a Gale Force team or whatever and have an okay time. Although Felicia had like 50 speed, which you can definitely double for sure and stuff, but I can't exactly remember. I think there was chill speed or whatnot on top of the shrines and stuff. So not completely trivial to approach from the right, but I imagine for the average person, probably the right side would be the more ideal side. Although I can't remember everything entirely again, unfortunately. I don't even know where this fountain was. Something like that. So the idea was I exploited the fact that there's also ornaments and stuff, and I think there was tactics room, healing tower, all that usual stuff. So unfortunately, definitely can't remember any of that. Feels bad, man. This might have been healing tower here. I have no idea off the top of my head, unfortunately. But so my plan was to, what I ended up doing was taking out male Korin. I just one round KO'd him with Nino. Was it with Nino? Yeah, so I did a kind of a complex play where I smited Kaden up to get him the speed buff, which allowed him to buff Nino up to be fast enough to double male Korin. Or was it Legendary Julia? I don't remember. I think I used Nino. And so then I just retreated afterwards. And so they started coming to town, and it was kind of awkward because I think Felicia got to like... Yeah, I think it was Sothis. I'm 100% sure now. I remember it was Sothis because I had a situation where I think it was Jacob here, Sothis here, Picnic Floro got to here or something like that. I think to break this could be I think Jacob broke it or something. I'm definitely having a faulty memory right now. Feels dirt, man. But yeah, Flora was like here, and I think Sothis was here, and Jacob was here or something. So somehow things happened, and Flora definitely rallied and got dance somehow. Again, I don't remember what entirely happened. I think Felicia was going this way. It was like here or something. And so I ended up getting Legendary Julia to power to one-shot Flora, one-shot Sothis, and then I think I had Nino one-round KO Jacob or something. Or I had no wait. I'm so confused on what I did. I know I took out Flora. Did I just leave after that and then just abuse the AI afterwards? Something like that. Unfortunately, I can't show how epic that clear was, but yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but that's what happens when you have a faulty memory, I guess. Feels dirt, man. But anyways, let's go to the rankings. This video is getting unnecessarily long for no reason. So yep. Currently, definitely not going to be in the front page, of course. That's never going to happen as long as we don't score enough. Because as you can see, even if we had a perfect season, completely perfect season, whoops. We would, actually if we had a perfect season, maybe, just maybe, we can make it. I'll keep that in mind, but people still have to do their last runs and stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised if 13,720 wasn't top 50. Definitely would not be surprised at all. But pretty solid defense this week. Pretty normal shenanigans for this team. Definitely need to make some improvements because another thing I do that makes my life harder doing this challenge on offense is, well, I use as much ether as I can each day, which definitely complicates things because then I believe in general, there's some exceptions, I believe, but you get matched up against, both on offense and defense, against people plus or minus one tier. So if I'm in tier 24, I get matched up with people from tier 23 to 25. I think it deviates if there's like no one in the tiers, but that's never gonna happen. And then there's things about trying to balance the number of matches everyone gets on defense. It's very weird, but that's what people are have been assuming, I guess, at this point. So that adds an extra layer of yikes, because that means when I climb up really fast at the beginning of the season, I'm facing a lot of the folks that probably have competent defenses in general and offense teams and whatnot. So I tend to get matched up with them, and so my defense definitely suffers because it's not a very strong defense. It's decent, but it's not that strong. It's literally just Seliph hard carrying with Sonya, and then Sylvia's here. That's basically all there is to it. Very straightforward defense, but I mean, it gets the job done for the most part against folks, especially who just don't have quite the right stuff to 1v1 my, well, not 1v1, but just deal with my team in general. But yeah, before we cut here, just wanted to talk about Arena Assault. So it is not water season, so we are not stacked on score for Arena Assault, but in theory, if we did actually high roll for once, and it's not like max roll, it's just averaging max roll -4, which honestly is not asking too much, except the matchmaker is a troll, so every time I'd get averages of like max roll -4, then I'd end up getting min rolls for either the last 2 matches or the last match or whatever. So pretty big troll. Have not been able to get anything above this score, and I don't really feel like trying. If I did try though and I could get over 5300, which definitely would give me a shot at top 1k, but no, it wouldn't be a guarantee for sure. I'd probably have to go like 5304, 06 or something. Not entirely sure. But yeah, anyways, we'll be back if there's more replays, or we'll just head straight to the results for this season. Alright, here we go. Yep. Alright, screenshot it because I can. So, yep. I didn't see any more defense matches at the end there. So, tier 27, all that stuff. I guess I didn't properly make the right screenshot, but in theory, if you got that high of a rank, it should correspond to that score. But healing tower is bonus. Mine isn't very leveled up, but it's better than nothing, so we'll take it. Probably should consider figuring out what to do on offense, but it'll be definitely a struggle again, like usual during Astra season. Not much to do or talk about to that regard. Here we're just barely top 600, so it seems like we can probably make top 1k pretty consistently in allegiance battles at this point, which is cool, I guess. It means we get a few more flowers and feathers and stuff, so that's cool. And of course we demoted because it's not water season and I was using Anna. Not a great idea. And I didn't want to try and compete with people running legendary Hector bonus during fire season, so no, we were just not going to try that. Here, definitely quite a bit away from top 1k. Definitely would need to high roll to get it, so I think in general, when it's not water season, we're just going to just do a casual run, not really record it, because not really much to showcase there, because it's definitely quite a bit easier when the scores are lower, and so there's better chances to see certain units that tend to be easier matchups and whatnot. But anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. As always, this is Ether Dragon, and hope to see you all next time. Bye!